Hey everyone, this is Jordan from Madtown Studios. Welcome back to another episode of Sketchy Opinions, where I give out my opinions on things going on in pop culture, whether it be movie announcements, things going on television, any kind of upcoming animated projects. I'm just throwing in my 2 cents. But before we start, if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you want to be part of the Madtown community, tap that subscribe button down below and get notified. Also, if you're liking the videos, press the thumbs up button. And of course, share with friends and family. So I have 2 topics. They're kind of similar, but a little different. The first one I want to talk about is going to be kind of short because the second one I actually think is a lot more exciting. So, most of you already know this, but the DC television shows all premiered on CW. And of course you have shows like Arrow, Flash, Black Lightning, Supergirl, all that. And now some of them have been seen to be pretty good, others seem to be not so good. And then we get to Batwoman. Based on the can't really say popular, but in the existing comics, Batwoman premiered last year. And the first time it was actually announced, there were actually a lot of people who were pretty interested in this show. However, though, things took a 180 turn when the trailer came out.
Fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
Yeah, that. But there was a few human beings out there who was willing to, watch the show and see how it goes. And,
Look at the dislikes! I can't!
Yeah, that happened. And by the way, I also too checked out the show. I pretty much watched like 4 episodes of it and I checked out. It's like drinking a protein shake and you take a couple of sips because you're trying to figure out what the flavor is, but in the end it's just nasty. You keep trying to taste it, but it just tastes nothing but grass and soy products. But if you want to see more reviews on this show and go through the episodes, check out any videos. There's a lot of reactions to it. But currently now, at this point, they've just aired their last episode for season 1, and yeah, the ratings are not doing too hot. So that is kind of like the strike one for this show. The ratings are not doing well, and what else can go wrong? Well, apparently, the lead actress is quitting. Yeah, not any of the actors who play in the side characters. No, it is the lead actress herself. So right here, I pulled out New York Vulture, and from what it says is that Ruby Rose is reportedly quitting Batwoman because it was too much work. Somehow I kind of heard that one before. So Ruby Rose is leaving the show, and of course she expressed her appreciation of working on the show, and of course to the cast and crew and directors. But this wasn't just her choice. From the TV Line report, it is stated that it wasn't 100% her decision, and that it felt mostly like a breakup. As they continue, they say that she wasn't happy working on the show. And did that make her fun to work with? No. So everyone decided it would be the best interest of the show and for all concerned if they parted ways. It just wasn't a good fit. So here's my sketchy opinions on this topic. I would say that the worst qualities about this show has to be the main lead. Not only did I think her character was written poorly, but she was kind of acted poorly as well. And I know Ruby Rose doesn't really have a lot going on in her IDMB, but yeah, her performance was pretty stiff. Most of the times when she tries to act tough and snarky, it just comes off cringy. But honestly though, I prefer that than her really trying to have emotions. But the whole production of Batwoman just feels it's just so whack, you know? I mean, I already heard too that she got into like a couple accidents. One mishap actually gotten her to get a surgery on her spine. And not to mention another person getting hurt during production. Yeah, there's just a lot of problems with this show. And that to me leads me to the number one question. Should the show continue? Should it go on for another season, or should they just cancel it? And in my own sketchy opinion, I think they should just axe it. Just axe it. I mean, they're even thinking of finding another actress to replace Ruby Rose, which to me is just not going to work. I mean, come on. If you've seen Fresh Prince and you heard about the whole recasting of Aunt Viv, then yeah, you probably know what I mean. And not to mention too that you also have, redesigning the costume so it was able to fit this actress, as well as the writing. I mean, the writing is one of the most worst parts of this show. It's just not good. And the thing is that even if this actress, is a great performer and will do a lot better than Ruby Rose, you still got to think about the dialogue and the direction for this character. If it's the same as before, then I don't think it's still not going to be that great. A lot of people also mentioned too that if they do come back with the season 2, they should just have it focus on another character who is supposed to take up the Batman cowl, and be the new protector, someone more worthy of it. But with that though, I feel like they should just do another show. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Man, that is crazy. But as you can see, there is one Batman show that I would have really loved to see, possibly even a movie. If you're watching my drawing right now, then you probably know who it is. Before I continue on, I want to quickly mention, or I guess really promote, our new store. If you like the work we do and want to wear it wherever you go, check out TeePublic. I'm there for selling t-shirts, tote bags, and much more. From our original works to some properties you're probably familiar with.
we'll be putting up some more art that you can carry with you. And the best part is, you'll look smashing in it. Click on the link below and check out the Madtown merch on TeePublic. And now, back to the show.
Okay, so we're back. And that was our first article for the day. But here comes the second article, and this one I actually really liked. Still talking about the DCU universe. As anyone knows, there is a film called Justice League. And that film is best left unspoken. It's a mess, a really big mess. It really did feel like two visions just splattered into one film. Unfortunately though, that one vision is only seen 10% in the film, and 90% of the film is from the man who created Avengers. Which is nothing wrong, the Avengers is cool, but yeah, the jokes, the visuals, everything just felt wrong in this film. Say what you will about Zack Snyder and his own aesthetic, which I'll admit I'm not a big fan of. I do see some potential in him. And also too, I do stand in the fact that he was probably more influenced by Christopher Nolan's Batman, but wanted to add a bit of that fantastical element from the comics. It's very unfortunate when he left, not just because his film was left in the hands of Joss Whedon, but it was due to the fact that it was more based on family crisis. And my condolences does go out to him and his family. But now, to celebrate the new HBO Max streaming service, it has been announced that the Justice League Snyder Cut is going to be put onto HBO Max. That's right, the Holy Snyder Cut. Something that everyone's been asking for. Even me. And to top that off, the Snyder Cut can lead to a lot of great possibilities in the DCU. So the news has already been announced that on Wednesday, May 20th, well, last Wednesday, that it was going to make its debut. This means there could be a good chance that we might get to see the David Ayers cut for Suicide Squad before the, outside interferences. The new Flash movie that's in the works could also be tied into the Snyder Cut as well. Also, from Jason Momoa, aka Aquaman, he has stated that the ending for the Snyder Cut tied in with Arthur Curry's story in his standalone film, and could probably play the most important part in the sequel. So yeah, it does sound like the film's gonna open up with a lot of possibilities. Everyone's pretty much happy with this. Well, not everyone. I've actually heard some YouTubers mentioning this, but here's an article from Collider, which is titled, "Why Releasing the Justice League Snyder Cut Sets a Dangerous Precedent." This article first starts off talking about the release date of the Justice League film we got now, but also mentioned too about the Snyder Cut and how fans wanted to see more of that. But then we get into something like this, in which they say they bully those who suggested that maybe the Snyder version, which would require tens of millions of dollars to finish the audio and visual effects, might actually be the worst version. They bullied those who thought that the theatrical release version was good. But most of all, they bullied Warner Brothers, who clearly went in a completely different direction from what Snyder was planning. 80. He also said, as Snyder eventually began stoking the movement, so too did several stars of the film, including Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa, Henry Cavill, and Gal Gadot. It seemed like a profound waste of everyone's time, and further evidence that the only tool in this movement's arsenal was aggressive, unpleasant forcefulness. It continues. The fact that Warner Brothers has not only acknowledged this incredibly obnoxious fan uproar, but also agreed to, per their demands, #release the Snyder Cut, is mystifying and potentially dangerous. The message is clear. If you and moan enough, chances are that the studio might not only hear you, but agree with you. The fan uproar, which was at the very least very annoying, and at the very worst, actively threatening, has been vindicated. Their methods have been approved. Everything that they did had a purpose, because Warner Brothers has finally given them what they want. Alright, I'm just gonna pause right there and start to give my sketchy opinion on this. While there can be fans out there who can be, they can take things a bit far, there are people like those out there in the world. I don't believe these fans were trying to bully Warner Brothers or bully anyone. There are folks who were supporting this film. They paid money to go see the film, and guess what? The film wasn't good. And then when they hear that the Snyder Cut was actually a lot better than what officially came out, people want to see more of that. Not only that, but they are customers. And what they want is a good product. And plus, weren't there fans who gave their support and condolences to the tragedy that happened with Zack Snyder's daughter, as well as raising awareness to suicide? Collider also mentioned too on how there was a J.J. Abrams cut for Rise of the Skywalkers, and said how fans were just whining to get the #release the JJ cut. Now look, am I saying that all fans are going to be, completely calm and reasonable? No, there are some out there you might see that might take things too far. A whole lot far, actually. I understand that. However, though, when talking about just a whole entire community of fans, whether it be fans of, Star Wars, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, Marvel, and DC, it's not right to just label them as just, toxic people or bullies, because they're not. They show a lot of love and support for these things, and they want a movie, a TV show, comic book, any product that comes out from these companies or from these franchises. They want to really see the passion put into it. And I got a great example. Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Now, if anyone knows the story about the Sonic movie, when the first trailer came out, Sonic looked like a living nightmare. And a lot of people were pretty much, leaving comments and tweeting about how, Sonic does not look good. And even the creator himself didn't really approve of this as well. But you know what? The director did the smart thing and decided to go back and tell everyone, look, I know you guys worked hard on this, but this design is giving us a negative response. I think we can do better. And with a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears, they were able to redesign Sonic, render him back into, this new form, and everyone loved it. But what made this redesign even better was the fact that it took a lot of dedication. They heard the fans. They didn't call it the fans. They didn't call them trolls or man babies or, toxic people. No, they heard them out. They looked at their product and said, yeah, let's fix this. And that's to me is why they got so much support. That's why I went to go see Sonic. It was still a good movie. Like I said, though, what made it special was that they put in the time to make those changes. And I really appreciate that. And, that's for them. That's for the Sonic crew. And that's what they're doing for this one. I mean, not redoing the whole entire movie, but giving what the fans want. And of course, getting more people to subscribe to HBO Max. So, yeah, either Collider's going crazy over this quarantine or this writer's on drugs. I don't know what it is. But this article makes no sense. But I'm just going to end this by saying check out the Synder Cut. I know I am, and I am really excited for it. Fans, cast members, crew members, and Warner Brothers are really excited for this. And that is my sketchy opinion. But tell me what you think about in the comment section below. What do you think about the Synder Cut? What do you think about Collider's article? Do you agree with them or do you not agree with them? I'd like to know what you think in the comment section. And also let me know too of what you want me to discuss later on. And of course, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share with friends and family. Oh, and check out our other social media sites. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. Okay, you folks have a nice, relaxing, lovely day. Stay healthy and stay happy. Peace.